Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today, it's time we take a look at some older Pokémon TCG sets. We're not going proper old here. We're going back a few years. We're going to look at some sets that, frankly, nobody wanted. And I'm going to show you why, if there's a set that's kind of cool, maybe don't wait forever. Now, the poster child of sets that nobody wanted is Battle Styles. Now, Battle Styles is a bit of a weird one because Battle Styles is actually a really cool set. Battle Styles was the first set that brought in, what we now have as kind of these new style alternate arts. And there's absolutely phenomenal cards like the Hyaganosuke Tyranitar, for instance. Now, there were only a few of them in the set. This is before Secret Rares went crazy. But there were some really nice cards. The Empoleon as well was phenomenal. But Battle Styles as a set was just one that people did not really like. It did not sell well. And I've told you a couple of times that I save a lot of images on my screen. Every single time for a video, I look up prices, eBay listings, whatever. I always save an image on my computer so I can refer back to it if I like. Now, the earliest Battle Style stuff I've got saved is back in July 2021. That is 3.5 years, well, no, 3.5 years ago, 3 and a bit years ago. And you know what we find? You're paying $90 for a booster box. And honestly, $90 is like the absolute maximum you should be paying. You should never be paying more than that. Battle Styles was a very cheap set. Like in December 2021, shops in the UK were just selling it for £100 a box, which is dumb. Frankly, that's really cheap. But it was that cheap. It was that easy to get hold of. It was, yeah. And actually, it honestly didn't really get more expensive for a while. In January of last year, January 2023, you're still talking like $95 a box. Okay, a little more expensive, but not very much. Yeah, tides have turned, ladies and gentlemen. Tides have turned. You see, I had a look this week when I was doing something else. I just had a quick check-in on Battle Styles, and what we found was that Battle Styles as a box right now is about $140, $145. Now, to be fair, that's actually around about retail for Battle Styles. Battle Styles was, I believe, $3.99 a pack when it came out. So you times it by 36 and you get $143.64. So right now, over on eBay, Battle Styles is about retail. Honestly, pretty much dead on retail. The thing is, I just showed you that when Battle Styles was pretty new and people weren't hyped about it, Battle Styles was being sold for less than 2/3 of retail. Wasn't quite half. Half of retail, incidentally, would have been $72. So you're paying more than half of retail, but not honestly that much more. And we can keep going here with a bunch of other Sword and Shield sets. And let's not pretend that Battle Styles is an anomaly here. There are a whole bunch of them that did this. Chilling Reign, for instance. Now, Chilling Reign, I've got so much love for Chilling Reign. So much love for Chilling Reign. Because, it gave us the first alternate art by Okacheke. It gave us the Ice Rider Calyrex V. That was the first Okacheke alternate art we saw here. And I'm always going to love the set for that. But it also gave us like the Gold Snorlax, which was awesome. The Mitsuhiro Arita Shadow Rider Calyrex V Max. The Kato Ice Rider Calyrex V Max. There's a lot of cool stuff in Chilling Reign, alright? I'm not saying every single card in there is a winner. I'm not saying it's the best set ever. But I'm saying there is a lot of extremely cool stuff in Chilling Reign. A lot of people love the Galarian Moltres V, for instance. Incredibly cool set. It was actually the set that came around before Evolving Skies. But let's not pretend this has always been a banger of a set, because it hasn't. If we go back in the Wayback Machine and have a little bit of a look, over in July 2021, you can get a booster box for £100 in the UK. That's pretty gosh darn cheap. If we have a look at, for instance, January 2022, readily available for about $100. Ignore the shipping, incidentally, on all these ones I'm showing you. It's showing me shipping to the UK. And actually, $100 is too much. About $85 is probably more like it. That was January 22. That was 2.5 years ago. Chilling Reign, readily available, under $100 a box. And I tell you what, I'm actually making this video and I haven't looked. I haven't even looked at the price of booster boxes of Chilling Reign because I just know they're going to be massively inflated. Let's have a look now. Here we go. First two ones that come up on eBay, about $270. And as always, there's going to be people watching this who are going, wassy, wassy, wassy. Come on, mate. You can't just take listings. That's unfair. Why don't you have a look at some sold listings? I haven't actually clicked on them yet. I'm doing this as I'm recording the video. That is how confident I am. And let's face it, I could always cut it out if it turns out to be wrong. But no, well, it's hard to find a few solds in a row here. Here we go, about $210. So admittedly, a bit cheaper than the 270 listings I showed you. But again, 2.5 years ago, when Chilling Reign was out and readily available, it was selling all day long for $100 or less. Now you're probably paying over $200 for a box. Chilling Reign was just out there, just readily available. Let's take one more example, another set that frankly nobody loved. How about Rebel Clash? Nobody liked Rebel Clash when it first came out. That was not a popular set. It was a second Sword and Shield set, and it was before the alternate arts and all of that. People just generally weren't loving it. So, if we go and have a look in the Wayback Machine and I show you how much Rebel Clash boxes were when it was, shall we say, not hype time, well, I unfortunately can't go too far back. The earliest I've got saved here is July 2021, where boxes were routinely selling for $160, $170. Tiny smidge over retail, but not too bad, honestly. Not too bad at all. You can already see where we're going with this, can't you? Around about retail. That's where we were. What have we got nowadays? Well, boxes of Rebel Clash. You're not getting one for under $200. We got a 200 and we've got a 220. And honestly, the 200 is a little bit of a bargain. Now, this is the part of the video where a bunch of you go, well, hang on a second, Wassy. What you're showing us here is a bunch of old sets where we had a chance to pick them up nice and cheap and we missed out. Those prices you're showing us from 3 years ago, they don't exist anymore. What is the point? Get to the point. Well, the point is, I've noticed this. I showed you a video there just a few days ago with Scarlet and Violet being very, very cheap. It was buy one, get one free over in the UK. And I showed you that over in the US, boxes of it were pretty readily available for like $100. We are at the stage where Scarlet and Violet is cheap right now. You can see where I'm going with this. We are at the stage with some Scarlet and Violet sets now that we were in a little while ago for these Sword and Shield sets where, frankly, your moment has passed, it's gone. And it's not just Scarlet and Violet base we could be looking at here. We could look at a bunch of others. So how about Paldea Evolve booster boxes? Scarlet and Violet 2. What are they going for right about now? Well, they're readily available for like $120. Not saying it's perfect, but I am saying that Paldea Evolved, pretty readily available for like $130. Obviously, be very careful in terms of what you're buying and where you're buying from, etc. But, you know, don't just go for little sellers with no feedback and all of that. But here's a couple in a row that's easy to screenshot, and there are a bunch of others. About $130 is about right. As it stands at the moment, Rebel Clash is gone. Chilling Reign is gone. But Paldea Evolved, pretty readily available below retail. Now, Obsidian Flames might be the Charizard set, but it's like the smaller set in terms of secret rares and all of that we've got in the game right now, in terms of Scarlet and Violet. And it's going to be one of the cheaper ones. What do we see? Well, here's a couple in a row for $120. with an Elite Trainer box in the middle for $35 for what it's worth, which is also a little bit cheap. I've seen sales of around about $100, but again, that's not always easy to find. $120 is about right. Again, we're talking about below retail. And you can see, hopefully, where I'm going with this. We've got Scarlet and Violet sets right now, and Scarlet and Violet base is really leading the charge, but there are others, Paldea Revolved and Obsidian Flames among them, and they are just cheap right now. Now, you might be looking at this going, well, see, you just showed me some boxes, and honestly, I waited like 3 years and had to pay an extra $50. I'm fine with that, and that's cool. But I'm just showing you, it's something I've been noticing recently that I thought I'd share. We've got some older sets that used to be well cheap, and now aren't. But we've got some newer sets that are pretty cheap right now, and I'm just letting you know that maybe, I'm not saying run out and buy all these sets right now, I'm just telling you that for every set that you can look at it and go, oh, that's really jumped up in price, I wish I bought it when it was a little bit cheaper, there is another set around right now where you can go, oh, you know what, it's a little bit cheaper. Just food for thought. For now, I want to know from you guys, what sets did you pick up when they were cheap and absolutely feel like a genius for doing so? Which sets did you wait and miss out on? Let me know in the comment section. Get us. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, and all kinds of fun things. But by far, and get shoutouts on the channel, like the lovely Dojo, who's a very lovely person, been supporting us, is awesome, thank you very much. But by far, the most important thing is always, there we go, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.